So when you're looking at properties or you're out in the real estate market hunting around, what types of sellers are you going to come across? Do you think they're all going to be the same? Do you think every situation is going to be the exact same and very easy to deal with? I can promise you that they're not. So I'm Aaron Impens, and today let's talk a little bit about the different types of sellers. The first one obviously is going to be a retail seller. Okay, what does that mean? A retail seller is obviously someone that lives in their property. They understand their value of their property 100%, and they want to get all of it, if not even a little bit more. Okay, they don't have any sort of motivation. There's no rush. They're out there looking to move on from their property, but not leave a penny on the table whatsoever. Typically, they're going to list that with a real estate agent. Some people may list it for sale by owner as well. You know, Zillow these days allows people to list for sale by owner pretty easily. So that's a standard seller. Very, very easy, very straightforward. So let's talk about something that's going to be a little bit more interesting to you. And I call this seller an auction seller. Okay, well, what does that mean? Or what do I mean when I say that? Does that mean that they go down to the courthouse and they put it up for auction down there? Like, no, not necessarily. And it doesn't necessarily mean they're standing at their kitchen table with a gavel saying, sold either. But, you know, this type of seller is going to be one that probably understands the value of their property, but they also have some sort of a motivation. Maybe it's just a small motivation. But they are going to look for multiple bids or multiple offerers. So in this scenario, you know, you're going to be dealing with other competitors that are out there and other people looking to buy a property. You're going to have to come in with a strong knowledge of the value, and you're going to have to come in with a strong offer price as well. You know, when there's other competition offering on the same thing, you're going to need to be as competitive as possible. Now, don't misunderstand that with you need to overpay, because that's not the case. You know, you need to make sure that your criteria is set and you've determined what the value is and what kind of return you want to make on that property. But just know this type of seller is going to take multiple offers from multiple different people. It's likely not going to matter how persuasive you are in the scenario. If they don't have all the offers that you need or they want, they're going to look for another one, which is okay. And by all rights, they can do whatever they want. You know, just know that there's that type of seller out there. Just know as well that sometimes with that type of seller, it might not be best to be the guy that offers first. You know, if they say, hey, I'm getting 5 offers on this, you know, again, you're going to have to come in with an aggressive price or what your good valued price is and be competitive. But maybe being towards the end might be better. Maybe not. Just kind of depends. Know that there's this type of seller out there. Be aware of it and be prepared for it as well. Okay, so that's 2 types of sellers. And let's talk about the 3rd/4th one, and probably the most important one that you'll come across, and that's a motivated seller. Okay, and I say 3/4 because a motivated seller, I think there's 2 different types of motivated sellers. One is I want you to take my house from me so fast that I can barely even blink before it's done. I don't care what you pay. I want it gone. Give it to me now. I'm done. See ya. That's a seller that you like to come across, but let's be honest here. They're not out there very often. You know, you may come across 1 or 2 a year or something like that, but the reality is not everybody is just that desperate or that motivated to say, I literally don't want this anymore. Take it for as much as you'll give me, and I don't care what that is. So know that that's a motivated seller. Know when you're in that situation and buy that property, obviously. But more realistic motivated seller would be someone that is a reasonable motivated seller. They understand that their property may need some work. They understand that maybe they need to get somewhere. You know, they're moving or they have a job somewhere else in a different state that they need to get to in a certain time frame. So that's a motivation. Or they understand that they're getting divorced or got divorced. or they understand they inherited the property. You know, there's always a motivation, and they also understand that they're going to be selling that property at an under market value. So what you want to determine is what are they trading? So they're trading their equity, you know, by selling it under market value for whatever their motivation is, whether it be I've got a job or I'm getting divorced or whatever. How much is that worth to them? Okay, so if the house is worth $100,000 and they're saying, hey, I want to sell this for $60,000, and you've talked to them and built up a rapport and built up a relationship with them, and you understand that they are really motivated, and this motivation is really driving them, and you think that motivation is worth even more than, say, a $40,000 discount to them, offer a little bit less. But you want to understand what their motivation is and try to figure out what that value is. Those are going to be the types of sellers that you come across the most, okay? People that have some sort of a motivation. They more than likely understand the value of their property, but they also have a value to whatever their motivation is, and that'll be the discount that they're trading. Makes sense, right? Absolutely. So when you're talking to them, find out what their motivation is, find out how you can make it a win-win for them, and buy the house. Easy, simple as that. So that's just a few different types of sellers. You know, the standard listed with a realtor for FSBO, retail, full-blown price, the auction seller, which is what I call them, where they get multiple offers from many people, and then the motivated seller. Those are going to be the ones you want to focus on the most. Those are going to be the ones that will offer the best type of deal for you. And again, as long as you're making it a win-win for you and the seller, perfect. So appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope that was helpful. I hope it offers some value to you as well. Let me know what you thought of the video. Leave it in the comments. Hit that subscribe button. Give me some likes as well. And we'll see you guys next time.